Hi guys, welcome to the Outpost Dispatch, which is your excuse to procrastinate while staying up to date with everything tabletop. This week, we've got some really cool stuff to go through with everybody, and introducing to this week's special guest is Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming.
Hello!
So Mikey's joined us to talk about a bunch of stuff that he's got going on at the Outpost over the coming weeks. There's also some really cool 40k news that I wanted to sort of digest, and Mikey's on hand really, so I thought who better to get involved than your fine beard itself. Yeah, I've got at least one person that I can turn to for this. Sure. Yeah, so we asked you. First off, I want to say thanks for joining us, and also first, before we get into the nitty gritty of what's going on in the world of Mikey and 40k, we're going to quickly pop up on screen this week's GW pre-orders.
Wow, look at those, aren't they pretty?
Those look amazing. Yeah, I'm really excited about that one in particular.
Yeah, I like that one.
Awesome. So to point to note, this was recorded on Thursday of the previous week, so we don't actually know what these releases are. So we've inserted them in the hope that you find them spectacular.
And I think they were.
They were absolutely phenomenal releases. I really liked that really cool one.
Let us know your favourite in the comments down below.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't blame us if you're not a fan, because we don't know what they are. So thanks anyway. I wanted to get into some stuff that's going on with Mikey, the 40k scene, and what he's up to. But first of all, I have a last minute plug, because this week on Friday is our late night opening, which is our new monthly thing that we're doing for you fine folks. So the Friday this week, it's going to be great. Yeah. Until I have to go home at like 1 a.m, but it's for the
future damn problem.
Future damn problems, yeah. This Friday coming, we'll be open until midnight instead of 10 p.m. for that extra few hours of late night gaming, so get yourselves booked in for that. It's free, there's no charge. We do just stipulate that it's only over 18s after 10 o'clock. Just a condition of the licensing. Speaking of which, it will be extended so you can get beers and ciders all the way up till 12 o'clock, which is stupendous.
Getting home at 1 and slightly drunk. Great.
I won't be, because I'm not allowed to drink at work.
But everyone else. Taxis home. That's what
sorted. Exactly. Taxis. Don't drink and drive, please. Mikey, let's talk about what you've got going on this week. So, in order of sort of procedure, you've got your 40k All-Stars Club night on Thursdays?
Yeah, so because we run so many events here, and one of the things that we have as like a unique offering is 5 types of tournament terrain. Every Thursday we have like a comp club, which we call it comp club, but it's welcome, like we're open to everybody. There's no charge, you don't have to paint your models, you can use proxies. It just sets the tone. If you lose in 3 turns because you brought a bad list,
it's comp club.
But if you beat someone in 3 turns because you brought a really good list, there's comp club. It's comp club. That's the whole point. So it's supposed to be practice for like an upcoming tournament, whether it's one here or it's one somewhere else. You can play on one of the 5 types that we have that are from like either most famous in the UK or most famous in like Europe or even America. Like there is option to play on any of those every single Thursday, which is really fun. And then it's also a good practice for Hellstorm All-Stars, which is happening this weekend. So this is the one we're holding in August. We hold them every few months. It's a 2-day 5-round tournament, which is very exciting.
Lots of games.
Yeah, well I call it tournament. I should more like an event, I like to think, because there's lots of things happening as well. There's obviously like first, second, third, which is, lofty heights for some. But there's fun things happening throughout the weekend. Sometimes there's free gifts. Sometimes there's spot prizes, like first person to roll a double 1 on the first charge.
That would be me if I was playing.
Maybe there's a spot prize for re-rolling that into another double 1. So there's
also would be me.
Even if it's going really badly, there's always something to play for. But there's we do food included, so you don't have to go anywhere. You can just play a game, have some lunch, play more games, which is great. You can grab a beer as well, which is going to be very nice, as we've already discussed. Just like loads of fun things like a raffle to win some cool prizes, and then
the idea of the cool prizes, or is that sort of like all?
Well, you'll have to see. You'll have to see.
You have to buy a ticket.
She'll have to buy a ticket and come join in. Yeah, exactly. So we run these events every few months. We run like 1 days and 2 days, but the big one is this month. Nice. Yeah, this week even.
How much are tickets?
So the 65, which is obviously your entry to the tournament as well as food included as well. So
it's a good old price.
Yeah,
not bad. Not
too shabby.
And for because your events, you specialise, like you said, in 5 different types of terrain.
Yes.
What are those 5 types of terrain for dummers like me who don't actively play much for you? I know about UKTC terrain.
Sure. Because that's really popular in the UK, which is one of them.
And that's it.
Yeah, sure.
What are the others, and what are their sort of styles and stuff?
So basically, we don't have ranked tables like a normal tournament. Normally it'd be player 1 versus player 2 on the top table, and then the lowest of the lowest. We do random table number because we have a bank of 5 essentially. So table 1 is a Games Workshop layout from their tournament companion that they use at the US Open, but that uses slightly different type of terrain that they would use. It's a lot taller.
Okay.
Table 2 is going to be UKTC, like you mentioned. So that's the one that's used everywhere in the UK.
Yeah.
Table 3 is WTC, or World Team Championships terrain.
Okay. That was last weekend?
That was last weekend, yeah, the WTC. So that one is like very popular in Europe mostly. Like you do see some play in the UK, but definitely not compared to UKTC.
Okay.
So that one is like very tall buildings, very heavy, very dense. And then we use a traditional Games Workshop layout from US Open, so that's our Table 4. And then Table 5 is one by a company called Proxy Wars, but it's a design by me. So that's
Hellstorm terrain.
Hellstorm terrain, yeah. So that one's completely different.
Yeah.
Triangle footprints, which is not seen before, with some other like aspects in there. So
cool.
And the reason we use random tables is because no matter who you're playing and what ranking you are, you could play on 5 types of terrain over the weekend.
Nice.
You could play
because it's a 5-game event.
Yeah, so it would be nice. It has been done where you've randomised a table and played in every single table type. It's also been done where someone randomised 5 different tables and played on the same terrain type because it is
that should be a spot prize.
Yes, so that is always fun, and sometimes people just random onto the same table every game. Nice. It's definitely doable, but it's completely out of our hands. It's the random number gods that does that for us. So the whole shtick of the shtick or USP of what I like about the events that I run is that no matter what table number you are, it actually has it has like an importance, because sometimes you play a tournament and you go, I'm on table 1, and then I go run down to table 300 and it's the same terrain, I didn't need to move. At least with this you've got a chance of hitting a different type of terrain where that can really like change how your army can function, because one army might like this type because it's quite open, and then you play on a really heavy, dense terrain board, which can either be really interesting or screw you your opponent, you know? And that's kind of like the fun. You can't tailor for one mission on one type of terrain because there's 35 chances of
never know what you're going to get. Forrest Gump style.
Yes, yeah, literally, yeah. Hellstorm terrains are a box of chocolates. So
edible.
Yeah.
No, they are not edible. Please do not buy the terrain.
Imagine.
I'm not covered for dental.
They do like chocolate casting in the back. We could do that.
I'll speak to the powers that be.
Nice,
we can see what the crack is with that.
So that's what's happening this weekend, and then obviously every Thursday, again, you can either practice for that event or practice for any other event, or just get into competitive 40k.
And how do you go about arranging for Thursday night comp night if you want to get involved?
So obviously in the Outpost Discord, there is a channel called Competitive Thursdays, and I do like a roll call every Sunday. I'm like, who wants to get their head kicked in this week? No, I'm joking. I'm like, every Sunday I'm like, who wants to play this week? And then on like a Wednesday night or a Thursday morning, you can either play a friend, come with a friend, and then choose the type of terrain you want. Cool. Or if you're like, I want a game but I'm not sure who to play, we'll just do like a random pairing.
Nice, cool.
So, and if you go, this is my first competitive night, I'll be like, okay, let's try and go against me. You might take it easy for like your first one, or like someone who's like also a beginner. And if you're like, I've won 3 tournaments and I play every single week and I want a practice game, then I try and pair it into someone who's like a similar level where possible.
Like, who's a head kicker? Let's get these 2 guys.
Exactly. So you're not, even if it's your first one, you're not going to go against like a GT winner who won a tournament a week ago. So just like
excellent.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Sign up for that on Discord.
Yeah,
awesome. Then the other, because we're on the subject of 40k, we might go the whole hog and crack into the fact that at the time of filming, I think it was yesterday, there was a balanced data slate, or like half a balanced data slate.
Yeah.
Fill me in on that, because obviously I'm not actively a 40k player. I know enough about what's going on with the game to know that there was something that happened. What the ins and outs and what happened and what was the outcome.
So a few months ago, there's a few codexes that came out. 2 of them being Death Guard and Chaos Knights. Yep. So who had some like really sweeping changes to their like army rules, or just how they function as a whole. Okay. Maybe too much to a tune of how much they were changing, especially with Death Guard. They got a lot of very good unit upgrades and like detachment and stratagem upgrades, and also lots of points drops. Yeah. And then Chaos Knights, along with Imperial Knights, because they updated the points at the same time, got like a lot of army changes, but heavy points drops. Okay. And because of that, we saw rampant like domination from those 3 factions. Basically, a lot more people were playing them. And when you look at like the stats of them, like the win rates, like, because obviously like one of the main things that people look at is like how good a faction is like the win rate, how much of a percentage does it win games, was teetering on like not high but higher, but the amount of people playing them was extremely high. So it was just showing that even though they weren't winning every single game,
there were lots of people
were winning
those.
and winning more. More people playing and more people winning more often.
Got you.
So there was an emergency patch yesterday from Games Workshop with points changes for those 3 factions specifically. So like an Imperial Knight, basically with the update came down around 80 points average.
Okay.
And then they've just gone up about 30 to 35 on average.
Okay, so like almost half that sort of original reduction.
Yeah, so what you saw that like Chaos Knights could run 6 large knights, which is obviously very scary, and unless you've built an army specifically to beat it, you just get... You kill one, and then they kill everything that can kill a knight, and then you get trampled by the rest of them. Mm-hmm. So they've basically upped the points just for those 3 factions. Obviously, Death Guard being extremely good, and they essentially had too much on the board for how good it was. Okay. So they've got some key units have gone up in points to just reduce the overall number of units you can actually take in an army.
Do you think this is... How close do you think to like a good fix? Obviously, I know that it's not quite a full balance data. It's like they've not played with any abilities or anything like that.
No. So
in terms of balancing it on a points basis, how do you reckon this will go down with the community on that?
I think it's overall really positive because it's not completely sweeping changes. Okay. They've gone very targeted on the things that are clearly a problem, and they've not gone, okay, this is way too good, let's nerf it so now it's unplayable. Yeah. It's like, it's early, it's a month early because we're supposed to see balance patches every month. The next one is every 3 months, sorry. We're supposed to see balance patches every 3 months, and the next one is due in September. Okay. So this is like they've pulled this forward ever so slightly just because, people playing tournaments like us this week, we don't have that access to the new balance dataslate just yet. So I think overall it's measured, which I think is a positive. Yeah, rather than going wholesale like here's a cricket bat to your kneecaps, Chaos Knights and Death Guard players. It's sort of like, here's a slightly smaller cricket bat to one of your kneecaps instead of both. A rounder's bat. So rather than people being able to like 5 Imperial Knights or 6 large Chaos Knights, they'll only be able to like 4 or 5 now. Okay. So it just takes the edge off a little bit, but doesn't like kill the faction. It doesn't change the way you have to play those factions. It just sort of... Yeah, exactly. So what I'm hearing is Death Guard players and Chaos Knight players, don't panic. Don't panic. You're still going to be cool and you're still going to be still pretty nails. It's just going to be less brutal for when you play against an opponent who's not ready for it. Yeah. I think that's the plan. And I think a lot of people might agree that small measured approach is a lot better than harsh like chop down. It's so much easier to correct as well, right? So if you go with a whole hog and you break a faction by accident, it's really hard then to put them back into the game in a good place. Yeah, exactly. And if like the balance data slate comes out next month and they go, well, we did Death Guard and Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights last month, we're not going to touch them again. Yeah. I don't think people should be mad, but I also think that Games Workshop should be prepared if there is still an issue or they've gone too far. So then they can then change it on the fly again, without like completely changing what's written in the codex. So overall, really, really positive, which is obviously great because I had to put like a community all-stars balance data slate for those 3 factions because they were clearly a problem. Yeah. And then Games Workshop ended up changing anyway, so then it's just made me to go, so okay, cool. Rolled that back and gone, hey, we'll just sort of... They've done it now. Do that. I don't need to get involved anymore. Nice. If it's still bad, I'm not involved. Nice. I like that. I think great changes all around. And will these be in play for the All-Stars event this weekend? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So we've got those point changes in. It's a little last minute, but point changes are a lot easier to manage than army rule changes. Yeah, definitely. So you drop a unit here or there, your army functionally works the same, so it shouldn't be an issue. Nice, well, that's wicked. Yeah. So just to top all those bits off, we've got 40k Comp Club on a Thursday. Yep. We've got Hellstorm All-Stars this weekend, still with tickets left. Yep. Balance patch with the points updates looks really good. It does look positive, which is in play for Hellstorm All-Stars. So I think that really nicely rounds up sort of this week's sort of busy week goings on. Loads going on. And then the final thing I wanted to bring up, which sort of comes back to more of an Outpost-centric thing, is the fact that this week is the last week of August, so it is your last chance to use our summer promos. So the free shipping over £50, Royal Mail shipping, so not including spray paints, unfortunately. We've now altered that so it auto-applies at checkout for you. You don't even need to faff with any codes. You just
put your stuff in the basket,
Yeah.
off you go, free shipping over 50 quid.
So if you're watching the week of, you can buy a new army, paint it for the weekend with free shipping and come to the
Chaos Knights Army.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is still feasible and head kicky, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice, wicked. So yeah, free shipping over £50. Still got 5 times out points on at the moment as well. So if you are buying that new army, you're going to get 5 times the rewards.
It's free money.
It's just free money. It adds up to like 3 armigers if you're buying a full Knights army or whatever. So
there you go.
take it while it's there.
And you don't need as many now, so
exactly, like it's win. How many wins do you need this week, right? And then coming off the back of it, you'll win some games at All Stars playing Chaos Knights. So what more do you need? So with that, that's pretty much everything from myself and Mikey for this week. Hope you've enjoyed having Mikey on as a guest.
It's been great. Thank you for having me.
Having someone who's a lot more sort of camera, sort of used to being in front of camera rather than me.
Quite a lot, yeah.
I've heard you do it a couple of times where you've been in front of a camera. So that's helpful for me as someone to bounce off. So hopefully we'll see Mikey again sometime when there's more 40k news to digest, because he's only upstairs. So just drag him in. But yeah, that's everything from me this week. You've got your offers, you know what's cracking on. So all that's left to do is say thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, as always, your hobby lives at the Outpost. We'll see you later.
See you next time.